Great. All right, so today we're going to look at the graphs for perfect competition. Okay? All right, let us begin with the prayer. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this opportunity to learn. God, I pray for every person that will be joining and that has joined and those that will watch this future video, that Lord, you will give them understanding. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, we have started with God and we cannot fail. All right, so we are going to have something. One of the characteristics, there are characteristics under perfect competition. This is very important for you to understand all the characteristics and what they do stand for. So under perfect competition, I guess we all know now there are many buyers and sellers of products, right? So many buyers and sellers of products. And then the second thing in perfect competition is that firms sell homogeneous goods, or the homogeneous goods simply means similar or same products, right? And because they sell same products, this gives firms under perfectly competitive and under perfect competition to be called price takers. So they take price from the market. Very important. So if you tell you what the characteristics of perfect competition, you don't necessarily come and say price takers. This is as a result of this. So the major characteristics that they sell homogeneous good and hence they are price takers. Great. Number three, firms in perfect competition, what do they have? What's there? What's the other characteristics? Please let's just list them quickly. There is free barrier, right? To entry and exit, right? So you can come into the market freely and exit freely, right? Exit and entry, right? What's the other one? What's the other characteristic?
Information.
Sorry? What did you say?
Information. Perfect information.
Oh, yeah. So there is perfect information. Okay, I had forgotten this. It's been long. So there's perfect information. All right. And then lastly, firms are, this actually should be the first one, should have been the first one. Firms are profit maximizers. This profit maximization is the one which is common in all market structures. All firms are profit maximizers. Yes, it should be, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but you can go ahead. Chilo.
I wanted to say,
Mhm.
I wanted to ask, is the the fact that perfect competitions have a where what is a supply cave, while it's monopoly don't have a supply cave. Can it also be a characteristic?
Not really. But it can, but these are the major five ones. Okay. It does not, for all the books I've read, none of them tells us about that, but that's an okay one. But first of all, if you are to put that one, let it be the 60th one, not like the first or first put this, then that one. But it is okay. I would not, if I'm the one marking you, I would mark you correct if you are to put that. Okay, and actually that's good thinking. All right. Amazing. So perfect information simply means everything is known. There's nothing that you're hiding. So if you're making profits, people will know. If an industry has a lot of money and so on, they'll know. Now, because of this perfect information, it's like someone comes to you and tells you, this business, there's a lot of money. Which business? Let me see how it's done. Then all the information is there. What are you going to do? You want to enter the market. And when you want to enter the market, it's free. There are no barriers to entry and exit. Anytime you can start. So what do? You simply enter, right? So that's the reason why, because of these two characteristics, we have this one guy here. Got it? Well, so the reason why we're having many the buyers and the sellers. Okay, mainly though it's on the sellers because all market structures Even in monopoly, the buyers will be many and so on, but sellers are the ones where will be many here. Why? Because of these things. Okay, amazing. So let's go to the next thing. So I've looked at the characteristics, and I hope these are very much in your head. Okay, let us now look at something. When you call, there's something that we call, if I order phones, 100 phones, I tell you that I have 100 phones, and I used 20,000 to purchase these phones. So these 20,000, this is what I used, right, in total. So it's called total cost. Now, if I have 100 phones, how much did I buy each phone? If I ask you, how much did I buy each phone? What are you going to do? I have 100 phones, and I used, in total, I used 20,000. Then it means how much was each phone? What am I going to do?
200 kwacha.
Is it 200? So I'm going to do the 20,000 kwacha, right? 20,000 is like this. Then I'm going to divide, right? 100. So this will give me what? This. Okay, correct. So it means each phone was what? K200. Now this was the price. We call this cost per unit, right? Of a phone, right? Or per unit or per phone. This has a special name in economics, and it's called average cost. So when you hear average cost, it's simply cost of one thing. Are we good? That's the 200 units. How did you get this average cost? What did we do here? We divided the what? The 20,000. What's the 20,000 called? Total cost. So we got the total cost. Then what did we do? We divided it by, what is 100? This is the quantity of phones. Okay, number of goods that we had. In this case, we had number of phones, but you can just put quantity there. That's what is giving birth to what is called average cost. Okay? I hope we're good. So this is called average cost, and this guy is very important. I'll explain these concepts in tomorrow's class, where we'll just be looking at these concepts and so on. But I want you to understand them from, a point of a grade 5. You can explain to a grade 5. You see just what I've done here. This is what we call average cost, and some of you would have just mastered average cost. Average cost is this, but you don't necessarily have that deep understanding. So this is very important, okay? That's our average cost. All right, I'm going to move on and look at another concept just before I draw the graphs, okay? Or maybe let me just start, I'll explain the others as we go on. So now remember we said perfect competition, firms are price takers. Where do they get the price? They get the price, we'll come and do this topic called demand and supply. But they get the price from the market. Okay, so if we're looking, for example, at the market of, let's say these are shoes. Okay, so we're going to have the supply of shoes and the demand. So we have supply and demand. Then whatever these guys are meeting here, that's what is going to be the prevailing what? Price. So we'll call this P naught, and then this we'll call it Q naught because it's the initial. So you need to label your axis always. So this is where quantity will be, and then here we're going to have price. So my things are labeled well. I'm showing here this is the direction, and I put a 0 here showing me this is the starting point. Supply and demand. Then you have to know that there are 3 types of profits that a firm can encounter. The number 1 type of profit that a firm can encounter is what we call supernormal profits. Okay, so supernormal profits. After this, I go to the questions. It will be a walkover for us. So supernormal profits. Now, supernormal profits are simply profits that are greater than 0. Okay, these are called supernormal profits. The second types of profits, we call them subnormal. So subnormal or what? What's the other name? Okay, the other name for this other one, it's economic supernormal profits or economic profit. Okay, economic profit. These are the two names, I think, unless there's another one that you know, but I know these. And then we have subnormal profits, which is also called economic loss. Okay, so because it's a loss, its profits are less than zero. Then we have the third one, which are called normal profits. So normal profits are profits, I don't know of the other name, but they are profits that are equal to zero. So these are the three that must be in your head. All right. Now, as we draw, I want this to be at the backbone of your mind. Okay, if there is a bone in the brain, that is. But however, I want this to be your foundation. Economic profit, supernormal profits, which is the same thing, subnormal, normal. This should be in your head. So I'm just going to leave this. Maybe let's start here. So now, if we're talking about profits, what should it tell you about the selling price? The price that I'm selling it something at. So let's say I order phones. I'm selling them at 50 kwacha. Or let me start like this. Let's say you go and order phone and they cost you, our cost was 200, right? For what we started with. The cost was 200. What must I do in order for me to make economic profits? What should be my price? Can I ask maybe Justina, can you help us with this one? At what price should I sell my phones? I'm buying them at 200. I've bought them at 200. I want to make supernormal profits. What should my price be? Or what can it be?
Oh,
50.
Okay, so the answer is anything above
Yes, you can make it 50. 100.
Yes. Okay, so what's going to happen is we are going to, okay, so it will be any price, right, Justina? It will be any price above 200. So let's say if I sell it at 210, how much am I making? I'll be making a 10 kwacha here. These are the things that we do at home, right? So there's nothing here that's like, these are the things we do at home. They're just coming to confuse us by giving them names. All of us know what average cost is. All of us know what, these things are. Okay? So let's come like this. This is the cost. So you buy something at 200 kwacha. You want to sell it at 210. So your profit will be positive. It will be positive 10. If you're making a loss, you are selling it at 190. You're making a loss because you bought it at a higher price and you're selling it at a lower price. That's a loss. That's what we entail for this. So now we said average cost is cost per unit. Price, the other name for price. So let me come back here. Lovely girl. There's a lovely girl here. Hey, her name is Lovely Girl. Lovely Girl, are you with me?
yes.
I love what you're calling yourself. Don't wait for a guy to come and tell you that. You are a lovely girl. Good. So now look, you sell phones and you have a 50,000 after selling. So you go to the market, you sell all your phones, and you find yourself with a 50,000 kwacha. Then these phones, remember the example we started with, you bought them at how much? At 20,000, right? So now you sell all of the phones and you get a 50,000. This 50,000 has a name, which is called total revenue. So total revenue is the money you get after you sell something. And we find it by multiplying price and quantity. Okay? Then we have what we call total cost. How do you get total cost? Remember, I talked about this guy called average cost, meaning the cost of one thing times how many there are. This will give me total cost. To get the profit, so total profit will now be equal to the 2. We minus the 2, right? Total revenue minus total cost. The formulas, how you get them are here. Now, this price, This is average revenue, average cost, right? Look at where it's coming from. Total cost. And we say to get average cost, what was our formula? We said average cost is equal to, we got this guy total cost, then we divided by this guy called Q. Now, this price here also has a name called, this is what? What is here? Total revenue. So now, looking at this combination that you have seen here, what do you think this is called? This guy here, this is revenue. So if I was to put revenue in terms of average, I would to be called what? Average revenue. So average revenue is the revenue you get from one thing, which is simply equal to total revenue divided by quantity. Now, this average revenue is simply the other name for the word price. So where you are seeing price here, I can simply say average revenue times quantity is the total revenue. I hope we have understood this. So wherever you see average revenue from now on, you must just know it means what? Price. So if I come to your shop and I know I taught you economics, I'll simply ask you, what's the average revenue for bread? You must try to go and do that in the markets. Maziwa tuenze pauza. Not what is the, how much is, what's the average revenue for bread? That's what will be our language from now on. Aye. So average revenue simply means price. Amazing. Let us go to the next one and see how we are going to now draw the graphs. I hope we are moving together. Lovely girl, are you understanding?
Yes, I'm understanding.
Ah, you are a lovely girl. I need now to find a lovely boy. Then we are done. Now, this is the graph. Now, under the graph of drawing perfect, if you want to show profits, now we're going to get these profits and put them now on this graph. How are we going to show it? When you're drawing this here remains to be quantity. Okay, so quantity of whatever product. Okay, it can be goods or whatever good, if we good Y or good X or whatever. Now here, what you have on the Y-axis, you have three things. You have price, you're also going to have cost, you're also going to have revenue. Three things. Now I'm going to draw this line here. We'll explain it and find out why it is like this. This line has got three things. Price, which is equal to average revenue, which is equal to, there are three things. Marginal revenue. Explain marginal revenue in tomorrow's class. Okay. This, where am I getting now? Before you draw this line here, it should match with this here. Remember, we said firms are price what? Takers. So they take price from the market. So this should extend like this and then come like this. So this is the price. So when this price changes here, this price here will also move. It will change. So these are the three things in perfect competition that are equal to each other. Yes, you can go ahead. Is it, how would you pronounce your name? Low, Chlo? I don't know. Okay, but you can unmute your mic here. Please go ahead. I guess, yeah, your hand is,
Yes.
yes?
Does this thing also equal to demand? Like, is it also the demand
Yes,
thing?
there's a thing, the last thing here, this demand. So there are four things that are equal in perfect competition. Price, average revenue, marginal revenue, and demand. Okay. Now I'll explain as well from a production. There's a topic called production. I'll explain these things about why these curves are the way that they are. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is to draw your average cost curve. So when you're dealing with profits, remember we said profits, we say total profit is equal to total revenue minus total cost. And we said total, it's total revenue here. So total revenue, we said it's what? Price times quantity. And then you say minus average cost times quantity. Now here, if I was to factorize, what is common is Q, right? So I can factorize, I can say where there's, let me put average revenue where there's price. So I can say average revenue minus average cost, then everything times what? Q. You can see I've just factorized this and this. This is average cost here. Q is the common, so I factorized it so I can remain with this. So in order for me, this is average revenue. Have you seen it here on the graph? Where do you think, if we're making supernormal profits means this equation here should be positive. That means average revenue should be greater than average cost. Is that okay? Justina, are we together? So if I have to get supernormal profits, what should be true based on this? Average revenue should be what? Greater than average cost. This applies for supernormal profits. Subnormal profits, what would be true? The average revenue be what? Lesser than the average cost. What about this one? What do you think that should happen? Average revenue should be what? If they have to make 0,
Equal to.
they should be equal to. Now, in terms of the graph, if they tell me supernormal profits, supernormal. Okay, let me start with subnormal. Subnormal, we should be making a loss, meaning our average revenue should be less than our average cost. In other words, our cost should be above the average cost. So you come to this line here. This is price. Your price here, your cost should be above the price. So now what you're going to use is the average cost, or it's drawn like this. It's a U-shaped curve. This minimum point is the most important thing. I call it the head. The head should be above the line. If you're drawing for supernormal, oh, sorry, for subnormal, this head should be above. For profit, for economic profits, this head should be below the line. Okay, so what we're calling the head is simply this last minimum point. Okay, and then for normal, it should be on the line. This head should be on the line. So let us draw. What are we drawing here for? We're drawing for this subnormal. What we're going to do is we're going to draw it like this. So I'll start, the head should be above the line, anywhere above the line. And you can just, now I don't want you to be drawing with my buckets. This is a curve. It's not V, or you start drawing a bucket from home like that. Okay, you know yourself, isn't it? Again, I've seen that you've smiled wherever you are if you draw those buckets. So let's just ensure you draw a curve like that. Okay, okay, something like this is better. So I label this as my average cost. All right. Then you need now to draw your marginal revenue curve. Now your marginal revenue curve is also U-shaped, but you're going to be drawing it like this now. And it cuts this guy at the minimum point. This is marginal cost. Okay, so you can see the marginal cost is going like this. Then it's like leaning towards the right like that. That's that, okay? That's the marginal cost. You must practice this. It'll come. Even just by looking, you must tell. So now, based on this, we can have the head here. Are these firms making economic profits or supernormal profits? Now, the head is already above. They are making economic profits already. Oh, economic loss, right? It's a loss. Why? This is our price right here. And you can see that your costs are above the price. So now, let us pick where the firm will produce. Now, firms are profit maximizers. They produce at one point where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. So let's pick a point. Where is marginal revenue? In perfect competition, we have said that price is the same as average revenue, is the same as average revenue. It is also the same as marginal revenue, and it's the same as demand. So just go to this line here. Okay, under elasticity, that's where you understand why this line, because it's demand. Okay, under elasticity, we call this line like this as, what do you call it? We have unitary elastic, we have inelastic, then those that are perfectly. We have perfectly inelastic, perfectly elastic. This is called a perfect elastic demand, but we'll explain that when we start doing elasticity. For now, let's just concentrate like this, just master it like that. I'll explain it. Now, when you come here, where is price equal to marginal revenue? I am going to talk about point A, point B, where I need someone. Let me pick Justina because she didn't answer the first one. Where is price equal to marginal revenue? Oh, sorry, where is marginal cost? So marginal cost is this guy, right? So follow marginal cost. Where is it meeting marginal revenue? Point A or B?
Point C.
Point?
Point C.
Oh, I can't really hear you. Just speak out loud.
Point C.
Point B. Okay. Who can tell me what is this point A? It's where what is what meeting what?
Point A, that's where marginal cost is meeting average cost. Now I'm saying where marginal revenue is meeting marginal cost, it is point B.
Okay, amazing. That's good. So now the reason why I've just emphasized on that, I heard Justina, she gave us a very correct answer. But the reason is when it comes to tests and exams, students normally go for that point there, point A, which becomes wrong. You go for point where marginal cost is equal to marginal revenue. Where is that? It is this point here. So you come here and then come down like this. This will be the quantity that the firm will produce. I can label it Q star. Then you use the same line again and continue it where it will meet average cost. It's meeting it here. This will be your average cost. So I'm going to call this average cost. And you can clearly see here, my average cost is above the price. And this is what we're calling the economic profit, per unit economic profit I have drawn. So how do you make, have you seen now here? We said average revenue down here, I'm writing minus average cost times quantity. This now will be the total profit. If you just get AR minus AC, you're just getting average profit, meaning profit from one item. Okay, but this is how we draw the graph. I hope this is okay. Any question on this? Okay. Let us wrap up.
Understood on the shaded area.
So this shaded area is the profit per unit, meaning profit from one item you're getting. Is that okay? So how did I get it? I simply came here. I recognize the first point where marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Where is it? It was here. Then I used this line. I just followed it. I went down to get my quantity. Then I came up to see where it's going to meet the average cost. And they're meeting here. Then I just come and connect it here on the y-axis like this. And this is what I call my average revenue. Okay, let me even label it with a different color like that. This is what I call, oh, sorry, not average revenue, my average profit. So this is profit per unit. Now, if I want to find total profit, I'll say the profit from one thing times in the quantity. Okay, yes, I can see a hand, Savior. Yeah, please go ahead.
Why are we calling that point that you've shaded the profit if you're saying if the average cost is above the market price, it's a loss?
Remember, it's subnormal. Under subnormal, you don't say subnormal loss, it's subnormal profit. Sorry, please bear with me if I was saying supernormal, but it's subnormal profits, okay? Subnormal profits. So subnormal profit simply means economic loss. Is that okay? It's a loss, but we call it subnormal profit. That's the other name for economic loss. Is that okay? Xavier, is that cool?
Oh yeah, it's okay.
All right. So this is still called profit. So we call it subnormal profit. All right. Okay, if there's no other question, let me quickly go now and demonstrate how you draw for economic profit now, the one for positive. It's simply going to be the same thing, but now we still have this guy, same graph, but now the only thing that we're going to have is that we should now, the price, that head should be below. Okay, so I'm going to draw it here. Okay, I only have a few minutes. It might disconnect, but in case it disconnects, using that Zoom link, please you join in. That Google Meet link, just click there. I'll just remain with 5 minutes. Now here, that head should be, are you seeing the way I'm drawing it? Nicely like that. Now I'm going to draw my marginal cost, which should cut this guy at the head here. As my marginal cost, you can see it's leaning towards, you can see how it's leaning. I don't draw it straight. It's leaning like that. So this is marginal cost. This is average cost. Where are the two going to meet? Where is the point? I have point A, point B. Where are we going to get? Where is price meeting marginal cost? Marginal revenue equal to marginal cost. Where are firms going to maximize? Somebody to help us? It's point what? A or B? Point A or B? Yes, Judith? Okay,
B.
B, right? Great. So point B is where they are meeting here. This is where price is equal to. So I'm going to come down, okay, and get my quantity. So now this will be my Q star. So please, the moment that you see the class cut, it's going to cut in the next 4 minutes. We're going to join using the Google Meet, okay? I'm just remaining 5 minutes. So this is now my Q star, my quantity. Where is it? Where is the cost? Here it's where it's meeting the cost. So I'll come like this and go to and this will be called average cost. Okay, this becomes my loss. Oh, sorry, my profit. You see, that's all. Okay, so if these are numbers, they'll have a number here. This can be 10, this can be 7, and so on. That's how we do it. Okay, I hope that's okay. The last one, so that we can close up with this one, is, or maybe I might just give a WhatsApp call instead of joining links. The last one is going to be the normal profit. I hope you took a screenshot of this. Anyways, I'm recording this class. So the last one now is going to be the normal profit. Under normal profit, the head is going to be on the line like this. So I'll call this, this is already S here. It's fine. That's all. It's just on the head there. So now here, this is the last one here. And you're done. With this, you have gotten 50% of the market structure. Any question from this? We're remaining with 3 minutes. I'm done teaching what I was supposed to do. Are we okay? Please try to draw, okay? You must be very comfortable drawing this. Any question tomorrow? Look at the shutdown point, those things. Break-even point, and so on.
I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead. We have like 2 minutes. You can go ahead.
We don't include average total cost, so maybe I just didn't get the part you talked about it.
So average total cost is the same as average cost. So when you see ATC, average total cost, is the same as average cost. It's the same word. I know probably
Alright.
you want to talk about average variable cost. When you're dealing with profits, don't consider average variable. You consider average cost. So we explain about, we'll talk tomorrow about this. What is this and how does it differ from this guy? And when do we apply this guy here? Yes, you can go ahead and ask me. I'm going to give a WhatsApp call in the group when the
Sir,
call
but,
comes. Yes.
but there are times when they ask us in the long run and in the short run, is this just like a general one or you are drawing in the long run?
Okay, I've heard your question. So, short run, equilibrium, is these two, supernormal and subnormal. In perfect competition, we refer these two as short run. So every time a firm is making either of these two, we say we are in the short run. Long run is what is on the board here. Long run means a firm is making normal profits. So in perfect competition, firms will make zero profits. So if they tell you to demonstrate long run in perfect competition, what graph you're seeing on top here is representing long run. It's when firms are making zero profits. Is that okay? Have you understood
Oh,
about
yes,
long?
it is.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Any other question? I have less than a minute. I'll give a WhatsApp call and then I'll send this class in the, I'll create a link, then I'll send it in the group. Okay, so let me just give a call. We pray, then we close the class. I hope I've understood. Just pick up the call.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, just join the call.